Stepping stones. I'm sure that's the word everyone here is familiar with. We've heard it for years. Not yet. Be realistic. Appeal to the centre. Just fall in line. These are words used endlessly by our detractors who believe that the only way into political power is by taking small incremental steps towards our eventual end goal. Rather than planting the flag where you stand, we should instead venture into the valley of white extinctionist mainstream politics, believing that through some sort of lobbyist trickery that we can get our own way. Imagine this. It's the late 1960s and the Tories are on the ropes. They are projected to lose the 1970s general election to the Labour Party. Post-war immigration is ramping up, and Labour have just passed the Race Relations Act. The public were furious. In comes Enoch Powell with his speech, Rivers of Blood. He orates to Parliament and public, tearing the idea of mass immigration to shreds. The broader public greatly resonated with this message, and they decided to place their trust into the hands of the Conservative Party. This had bought them an unexpected victory, granting them 4 years of power. Now, what did they do with that power? Nothing. Nothing at all. Enoch Powell had prepared a stepping stone, which radicals and moderates alike had agreed to step onto. They placed their weight onto the rock, and it sank right beneath their feet. The river had come, they had nothing to stand on, and they were swept away in the current. We have to ask ourselves, why did the stone sink? Because the problem isn't just the man selling you the stone, it's the stone itself. Many people incorrectly believe that Enoch Powell represented a break from the old order, where he was actually a self-proclaimed traditional Tory who didn't give a monkey's about race. He believed in the international free market and slow and legal migration, provided the immigrant had a political affiliation to the crown. And 50 years later, the story begins again. Reform UK, Tory 2.0, and from them comes Rupert Lowe. Another controversial speech, another sacking, another man who supposedly represents a break from the old order, yet he too called himself a true Tory, believing in slow and legal migration, provided the invader assimilates to our culture. The stepping stones aren't stepping. They never have, and they never will, because the Tory ideology is inherently opposed to national sovereignty. There has been no progress from the Tory ideology. From Enoch to Lowe, nothing has changed. There is no progress, let alone a solution contained within the bounds of international finance, nor the ideologies that serve it. What we need is not another stepping stone. What we need is a ship to sail across the waters without compromise, a vessel of unapologetically radical nationalists who raise the flag and refuse to change course no matter how intense the waters become. We need a vanguard. History shows this pattern again and again. For example, the Bolsheviks, they were not a large movement when they first set off. They were instead a small, tightly organized band of radicals who rapidly expanded to power as Russia entered a period of war, political instability, and economic collapse. They did not offer Russia a stepping stone. They offered Russia a radical solution. We will take power and we will put an end to the failures of government. The same pattern again appears in Germany. The National Socialists formed a highly organized activist base, establishing local connections all over the country. When Germany entered a period of deep crisis, they did not offer a stepping stone. They instead offered a radical solution, an alternative to failing institutions. They presented themselves as a force completely willing to reshape the political order. They did not place another stone into the water and hope it would hold. They built something designed to cross the storm. So if you want Britain's national inheritance forged by our forefathers to belong to their descendants, if you want justice for the ethnic British violently assaulted and murdered, if you want justice for the rape, pillage, and ritual execution of this nation, if you want to build the vanguard that will pull the British people through this crisis and leave them on the other side reborn, then it is the National Rebirth Party or nothing.